Welcome to the road to 1 million US dollars. Let's get right into the Bitcoin chart for today, because right now we can see Bitcoin in this massive level of resistance, sitting from 71,000 all the way up to 73K for the Bitcoin price. And if we do trade above this level, flipping it into a level of support, then the next and last level of resistance is sitting at about 73.6K, which is the previous all-time high for Bitcoin. And of course, if we do trade above that, then likely we will be seeing a lot more bullish momentum shortly after that. Although for now, it is not confirmed that we will be blasting off, because first we need to break these levels of resistance. So in the case we do trade to the downside from here, we will have some short-term support sitting right here at 70.5K. So in the case we do trade below this level somehow, then the next level of support below that is sitting from 70,000 all the way down to 68.5K. So as for why I think that 70.5, 70.4K level is very important in terms of support, is actually because we have this descending channel on the daily time frame, where right now we are breaking out of that descending channel. However, at the time of breaking out, this level of resistance was sitting at about 70.4, 70.5K. And of course, this does trend down over time. But if we do see Bitcoin pull back a little bit, it could potentially be retesting this as a level of support before then blasting off to the upside. So that is why this is actually a key price level to look out for. But for now, the momentum is obviously very bullish and we are just blasting off to the upside. And I do think that so long as we hold this as a level of support, we will continue to see more upside from here. And taking a look at the RSI momentum indicator on the daily time frame here, of course, if you have been watching my channel recently, you know that I called out this break of this descending line of resistance on the RSI momentum indicator for the daily time frame. And as soon as I saw a breakout and a retest, I told you guys that we would likely be seeing much more bullish momentum soon. And that actually corresponded to this price around 60,000 US dollars. So of course, since then, we have seen a massive wave to the upside. And here you can see a symmetrical triangle pattern with a descending line of resistance and an upward sloping line of support, which we broke out of, got a retest and then a resumption from there. So of course, this is also very bullish. And this pattern actually has a price target of close to 75,000 US dollars for the Bitcoin price. Although it is noteworthy that since yesterday's video, we have reached into overbought territory on the 4-hour time frame. And typically when that happens, you would need to see the RSI cool off a little bit back to around this 50 level before then making its next move either to the upside or to the downside. I would say though, in this case, because there is such massive bullish momentum right now, as well as the big ETF inflows that I will also get to in this video a little bit later on. But either way, it doesn't fully have to reset to that 50 level. It can also just make another leg to the upside a little bit earlier before that. It is just something to pay attention to, because what happened here already is that after reaching into overbought territory right here, we then started to cool off a little bit and Bitcoin started trading sideways, which is to be expected because the RSI can reset back to around that 50 level by the price trading sideways, or by getting a little bit of bearish momentum, in which case it would trend down more quickly. Now, one more thing that is noteworthy in the immediate short term, so on the 1-hour time frame here, is actually this bearish divergence, which is when you have higher highs in the Bitcoin price and lower highs in the RSI momentum indicator. And usually what you'll see with these bearish divergences is also either some bearish momentum or just some choppy sideways price action, usually on the 1-hour time frame. It can be for a couple hours up to a day or so. And this bearish divergence confirmed yesterday at around 7 p.m. my time, which would be in about 2 hours or so from now. So what we could expect in the short term here is just some more choppy sideways price action, perhaps a little bit of bearish momentum. But I do think that this bearish divergence is now pretty much played out at this point. So more likely is that after the RSI has reset on the higher timeframes a little bit, we can then start to see another push to the upside, because I would say that pretty much every indicator and every pattern right now is extremely bullish. So here's another example of that. On the 4-hour time frame, you can see this smaller descending channel that I also talked about in my recent videos, where if we broke out from this descending channel, I said it would be more likely that we see some bullish momentum shortly after. And here you can see it exactly. We got a breakout to the upside, a retest, and then a resumption from there. So this again is showing a lot of bullish momentum. I do think just so long as we hold above this descending channel, everything should be good to go. Now, if you're really zooming into the short term here, so again, on the 1 hour time frame, for example, you could draw a trend line like this to keep an eye on this bullish momentum for Bitcoin, because if you do see a break of this trend line, like a convincing break to the downside with confirmed candle closes, perhaps it could be something like this, where you get a breakout to the downside, then a retest of that level, and then resumption to the downside from there. Yes, then we could be seeing some more bearish momentum, but so long as we hold this trend line, everything should be good to go for Bitcoin, and we are likely to just get more resumption to the upside. So zooming out to the 1 week time frame for Bitcoin, you can see that right now most of the liquidity is sitting to the upside, sitting at 71.8K, all the way up to about 72.1K. And in the case that you don't know, typically the Bitcoin price gets attracted to where there is the most liquidity on this chart. And in this case right now, again, it is sitting up to 72.1K. However, there is also this downside liquidity to worry about, because there is big liquidity as low as 68.5K all the way down to 66.3K. So this is important liquidity to pay attention to on the higher timeframes here, because we are looking at the 1 week Bitcoin liquidation heat map. So now taking a look at the Bitcoin ETF flow tables for today, what we can see is that on Tuesday, we had a massive inflow of about $880 million. And then yesterday on Wednesday, we saw another massive inflow of about $500 million. So if this does continue, then yes, more likely we will see the ETFs push up the price massively. Although if we start to see outflows from here, so we see a reversal in this trend, because if you can see in this very right side column, we have had nothing but inflows in the last couple of weeks. So that is important. Like if we see this trend reverse, where we are starting to see net outflows from these Bitcoin ETFs, then more likely we should be getting a little bit more bearish over the next couple of days and potentially weeks or so. But so long as we keep getting these inflows, I do expect the bullish momentum to continue. So now taking a look at Ethereum on the daily time frame, right here you can see the 0.786 Fibonacci level sitting at exactly $4,000. So potentially Ethereum could be targeting this price level, trying to retest it again and potentially break out from there. And in terms of Fibonacci support, the next level below is the 0.618 Fibonacci level sitting at about 3330, although there are many support levels in between the current price and that Fibonacci level where we could potentially see a bounce from. Although one thing I do want to draw your attention to here is actually this hidden bullish divergence for Ethereum, which is when you have higher lows in the Ethereum price and lower lows in the RSI momentum indicator. And usually with a bullish divergence, you will either see some choppy sideways price action or some bullish momentum. And in the case of a hidden bullish divergence, it means that it is basically the same thing, except it is just less strong than a regular bullish divergence. So that is something to pay attention to. And of course, this does get invalidated if the Ethereum price trades roughly below 37.75. So now taking a look at the 4 hour time frame for Ethereum, where you can see that since yesterday's video, we did in fact break through this level of resistance sitting at about 38.50. Although, like I said in my last video, I am not confirming this as a level of support yet, because we have not retested it as a level of support. And what did we see today? Well, we did, in fact, when we went for the retest, just fall right below it and went all the way as low as about 38.20. So that is why it is important to wait for confirmation with these support levels. Although again, just because we are right now trading below it doesn't mean that it actually is a level of resistance, because for now, since we don't have this candle close yet, it can still just close above and then actually confirming it as a level of support before then blasting off to the upside. So that is important to note. And if we do trade further to the upside, clearing above this high at about 38.75, then the next level of resistance above that is going to be at 39.20. Though if we do trade further to the downside from here, then likely we will fall into this next big level of support sitting from 3,800 down to 37.50 for the price of Ethereum. And this is in fact a big level of support because we have had a lot of price action in this range. So now taking a look at the 4 hour time frame for Solana, you can see that it did not manage to clear above this 0.618 Fibonacci level at $174, like I talked about in yesterday's video. Tested this as a level of resistance and then got a little bit of a rejection from there. However, this is not looking like a crazy pullback down, like a crazy rejection or anything like that. It more so looks that we are just ranging in between this 172 level and this 174 level for now. So those are two key price levels to actually pay attention to for Solana. And now zooming in further to the short term, because right now you can see that Solana is trading above this level of resistance, trying to flip it into a level of support. So this level is sitting from 171 all the way down to 166 for the price of Solana. However, if we do trade further to the downside from here, there's some short-term support sitting at $164. And then we do have that Fibonacci level that I was talking about earlier, sitting at $162 for the price of Solana. Though if we do continue this push to the upside, then more likely we will be heading up to this level of resistance, sitting at 176 all the way up to $181 for the price of Solana. So those are some key price levels to pay attention to for Sol right now. Now, if you are new to the community here, I highly recommend you go check out the Discord server, which you can find with the first link in the description of this video, because we do just have an awesome community here of people that are trading crypto every single day and also sharing analysis with each other in this technical analysis channel. So if that is something you're interested in, then I highly recommend you go check it out. It is completely for free. Now, before I leave off today, I do want to mention that if you register to MEXC or Blowfin, which are two exchanges that I'm affiliated with, you can get up to $1,000 in trading and depositing bonuses simply for trading and using that platform. And on MEXC, you can actually trade with fees as low as 0.01% and up to 200x leverage. So if you are leverage trading, this is actually the perfect platform to do that on, especially if you are trading with high volume. Though if you cannot register on MEXC or you cannot KYC on MEXC, then I recommend you go check out Blowfin, because on Blowfin you can trade with up to 150x leverage only using your email address, so you don't need to verify your ID in any way. And you can also get up to $500 in trading and depositing bonuses. So you can find the links to these exchanges in the video description as well. Either way, if you do end up joining those platforms or joining the community, thank you for watching once again, and I will see you tomorrow in the next one.